Yo, what's up, bro? Welcome back to Gym Tan Beef. Today I'm going to be talking about intentional living. And I was journaling this morning, and what I realized was I haven't really been living intentionally since really high school. And let me get deeper into that. When I say I'm not living intentionally, I'm saying I was just kind of going with the flow, doing whatever life brought to me, not actually going out and trying to create the life that I dreamed of. And to give you a little more background, let's start in high school. In high school was probably the last time I was living intentionally, just because in high school I really fell in love with sports. I fell in love with football, I fell in love with track. So I would always go and lift weights after school. I would always challenge myself to get stronger, to get faster. I would always challenge myself to work harder than anyone else on the team. After football practice, when practice was done, I was the one staying after, running extra sprints. I would go to the weight room after practice to get in some extra weightlifting sessions. During track, I would lift after my track workout. I was just putting in extra work, and it's because I wanted to achieve. I wanted to win first place in track. I wanted to be the best football player. I wasn't the best football player. I was all right, but I wasn't the best. But still, I had a goal to be the best. And in track, I had a goal to be the best, and I did achieve that. In track, I won third place in state for javelin. So I would say that's a pretty good accomplishment. But that was really the last time I was living intentionally, because when I went to college, I really just went with the flow. I remember I never even really questioned if I should go to college or not. It was always kind of yeah, I'm just gonna go to college. It wasn't even an option. I went to a private Catholic high school, so it was kind of expected. Everyone went to college. It wasn't even an option not to go to college. And the guys who didn't go, you just thought they were crazy losers. And then look at the job market today. People that don't have a college degree, that are plumbers and welders, they're doing better than people who graduate college with hundreds of thousands worth of debt to get a job paying $35,000 a year. But that's besides the point. So I kind of was just okay, I'm gonna go to college. I had no idea what I was gonna study, and now my dad owned a small business, so I was you know what, I'll just do business. Hell. So I did business finance, and you know what, I liked it, I guess. Nah, I'm lying to you. I was bored the whole time. I did not like my college classes at all. What I liked about college was I was in a fraternity, and I liked the brotherhood of the fraternity. I liked living with all my friends. I liked always having something social to do. I liked partying on the weekends. I mean, we would party hard. We would drink Friday through Sunday, finishing a bottle of alcohol each day, going to party. You guys know how it is if you went to college. It's just one big party. It's not necessarily even about school. And that was my problem. I wasn't even going to school for school. I wasn't living intentionally. I wasn't thinking college is 4 years, and now what am I going to do the rest of my life? What am I actually going to do with the rest of my life? I was living in the moment, in the short term, and I never actually sat down and thought what do I want to do long term? And the reason I picked finance is because I literally went on Google, searched highest paying jobs, and at that time it was finance. So I was okay, I'll just do finance. And I hated the accounting classes. I hated the actual finance classes. I actually had a really hard time passing them, and I had a really hard time passing my calculus classes. Math just isn't my natural strong suit. My natural strong suit is just talking to people, just being able to connect with people, being able to help people. And then my other natural strong suit is fitness. I've always been into fitness. Like I just told you guys, in high school, the one thing I loved the most was sports. I would go to the gym after my workout, after my track workout, after football practice. I was running extra sprints. So that was the one constant in my life that I always loved. But I was living on autopilot, and I can't say it was my parents that forced me to do business. Now I would say my parents, they expected me to go to college. It wasn't an option not to go to college. It was always what college are you going to? What are you going to study? Not even a question like, do you want to go to college or do you want to do something else with your life? And now, if I went back in time, it's not like I would change anything because I had great times in college. And in fact, I think I got a lot of my demons out in college, just partying, you know, bouncing from party to party, talking to chicks, like getting all that, like that shenanigans out of the way. Because I think a lot of people, when they get older, they don't get that out of their system, and then that's how you end up with guys like that are 50-year-old, like cheating on their wives. Like, when I lived in Dallas, Texas, I knew so many guys who they had so much money, but they just spent so much serious time in school that when they got that money, then they started cheating on their wife with prostitutes, and their wives were hot. Like, you're like, what are you doing? But yeah, they would go out, do cocaine, do ecstasy, do shrooms. These guys are like 50, cheating on their wives, doing drugs. And I think it's a lot because they didn't have that time in college to get those demons out. But let's get back to living intentionally. So I like never even really thought, what job do I want? And that was like a huge problem after I finished college, because literally I just applied to a bunch of jobs as I hit my senior year. I got a really good job in finance for a bank. I actually got the job before I even graduated. So it was awesome. Like, I already knew I was going to have a job after I graduated. So I bought a new car. I was buying new shit. I was actually racking up credit card debt that I shouldn't have. I was not living intentionally. I just literally applied for a bunch of different jobs. I didn't even like look really into what this job, what it was supposed to be. I was just like, looked at the salary. I was like, oh, good for me. I can make $70K out of college. That's fucking awesome. Let's fucking go. And so I just took the job, went through it. I liked the job for the first like maybe 6 months, because like when I came out of college, if you guys are in college, I'm sure you had this feeling. You're like, man, I can't wait to stop learning and just like go out, make money, go grind in the office every day. Just get to the office, grind, plug my headphones in, start grinding. And yeah, that seems cool. But then you find out the reality of actually going to the office and grinding, and you're like, this fucking sucks. You're literally trapped in a glass building for 8 hours a day. You can't leave. You're literally a prisoner in that office. You cannot leave the office without your boss's permission. You have to be like, hey, Mr. Boss, can I go get lunch now? Yeah, just make sure it's only an hour. Okay. And then by the time you walk to your car, that takes 15 minutes. By the time you drive down the parking garage, 10 minutes. You go get lunch, that takes 30 minutes. And then it takes you another, like, what, 15, 20 minutes to get back to the office? So really you have, like, what, 20 minutes to yourself? So it's all a lie. Like, I think in life, a lot of times you always look forward to the next chapter. In mid school, you're always looking forward to high school. In high school, you're always looking forward to college. In college, you're always looking forward to getting a real job. And then you get your real job, and you're like, fuck, this fucking sucks. And I know everyone I'm close to has had this same experience. They're like, wow, this is gonna be the rest of my life, like sitting in an office chair, like just typing on an Excel sheet. And this is what you get from not living intentionally, is a job you hate. Because I did this for years. I did this for a bunch of years, because then I got tired of that finance job. I think I did that job for maybe 2 years, and then I was like, man, this fucking blows. I gotta get a different job. So then I was like, I gotta work for myself. I gotta do something where I can actually like provide for myself and make my own schedule. I asked my mom, and my mom was like, why don't you just be a realtor? You're good at talking to people. And I was like, yeah, I will. That's it. I'll be a realtor. That's a good idea. I didn't even think about it for myself. I literally did what my mom told me, like a fucking 18-year-old. Like when I went to college, I just did what my mom told me. I did what my dad told me. And I wasn't thinking for myself. I wasn't living intentionally. It was all what my parents wanted, or my parents at that time didn't want me to be a realtor. It was just their suggestion, and it was because I'm too lazy to think for myself. I was And this is something journaling is really good for, is just thinking for yourself and actually putting your thoughts on paper and like thinking about your life instead of going through your life like a zombie. Because I know so many people who they just do what their parents think they want to do, or they do the exact same thing that their parents do. They're like, oh, this is an easy solution. My dad does this job. I'll just do the same job. I don't care if I like it. It makes good money. I'll just do the same job. I have 2 family members who that's their mentality, is they just went and did the same job that their parents did. And I know they don't like the job and that's not what they want to do, because they tell me that. They tell me they want to do something different. But anyways, I was a realtor, and then I figured out I hated that. So I liked it at first. I made my own schedule. I was able to make my own days. If I didn't want to work one day, I didn't have to. And that was really nice. So I was really grateful for not being able to just, or for not having to work in an office every day and to be locked in an office and having to ask a boss, oh, can I go to lunch? Can I go to the bathroom? Like a 5-year-old. So I really liked real estate at first. And then you realize that it sucks just the same, because you know, you're like a prisoner to your phone, or I was a prisoner to my clients. I was working in Dallas, Texas, and man, my clients were not ideal. They were not ideal, and maybe I'll go into like why that is when in future videos. But they would waste your fucking time. I would drive around with people for months, like the same people, the same clients, and then they would just ghost me. Like after months of giving them my time, and that's all free time, because real estate, that job is all 100% commission. So they would waste my time, have me drive around with them, and just ghost me. I would text them, hey, you guys want to look at houses this month? No answer. And then like people are so like, what you find out is people are so shitty. Like they have no loyalty. They'll just run, or they'll just like go to the next best deal, or they find out their nephew's a realtor, so they'll use them, or they'll meet someone at a farmer's market that's a realtor and they'll just go with them. It wasn't for me. I didn't have that like natural drive. And so I really had to think about like, what do I actually love? Like what actually makes me want to wake up in the morning? And it's always been fitness. It's always been fitness related. Like that's been the one constant in my life. And now I've been through transformations. Like I've been fat, I've been through ups and downs and roller coasters, but I've always gotten back in shape, and fitness has always been that rock, that one constant in my life. To be honest with you guys, I decided to be a health influencer because of this reason, because I love fitness, and I was like, what better way to make an impact on the world if I can do what I love the most, which is fitness, and also help people make transformations. And that's how I started this online fitness coaching, and why I started posting on Instagram, why I started making YouTube videos. I've been posting on Instagram a lot longer. I just recently started on YouTube like a couple months ago, but I love making these videos because I love to help you guys and help you guys work through these problems so you can learn through me instead of like having to learn yourself. And I'm 29 years old now, and it took me 28 years to realize that I was doing things that I didn't want to do, that I was not living intentionally. And like this brings me up to my journal, because today I was realizing that up until like very recently, I haven't even been living intentionally with my fitness job, with this online fitness training. I've been kind of just throwing darts at a wall and not even trying to aim for a bullseye. And now this is because like really I was really just posting on Instagram going for views. And a lot of the stuff that gets views on Instagram is rage bait stuff. So I would just post stuff like Big Pharma wants to kill you, doctors want you fat and sick so they make money. you know, just rage bait stuff like that. I drink raw eggs every day anyways, but I was drinking raw eggs. I was drinking more than I needed to. I was drinking 12 at once, just chugging them, just to like engagement farm and get more views on my video. And I really wasn't providing any value. Like for the first few months of me actually going viral on Instagram, I was just like chugging eggs, like not saying anything, not going over the health benefits, literally just chugging eggs. And this is not living intentionally, because when I told you I wanted to get into online fitness training to help other people, how was that helping other people? Just chugging eggs on the internet? It's not. So like recently I started changing my content and I started being more educational, and that's what these YouTube videos are for, to educate you guys. And on Instagram I started doing the same thing. And these educational reels on Instagram, they don't do as well. I don't get as many views as I do a 6-second egg chugging video, but I'm actually able to help people and I'm actually able to inform people. And I realized that I had to change this all through journaling. And let me go to my notes just because I'm journaling. This is like something I've taken up recently and it's really helped. So I'm just gonna refer to my notes. This led me to losing my vision, and it led me to falling back into old habits. And I wanna show you guys, like, this is what I used to look like. Like before I made my Gym Tan Beef blueprint, this was me. And now this was my fitness transformation over here. Like you can see how cut up and shredded I am, and this is how fat I am. Like, and this is what the Gym Tan Beef blueprint did. I had to develop a blueprint that worked for me, that changed my life. Going to the gym every day or getting some movement in. Like today I just got done running sprints on the beach. So that was my gym for today. And tan is more than just a skin tan. I mean, a skin tan helps because everyone looks better with a good tan. But like today I ran sprints on the beach. I'm out here right now getting my tan. The sun gives you more than just vitamin D that's going to turn into testosterone. It actually turns on your mitochondria. It powers your mitochondria. Like think about your mitochondria, or like the food you eat, the fats, carbs, the water, that's the fuel for your cells. And then the mitochondria needs the sunlight to ignite that fuel. So the sun does that for you as well. It ignites that fuel in you at the mitochondria level. The sun will also set your circadian rhythm. Like if you look at the sunset at night, that's going to start making melatonin so you have a better night's sleep. If you see the sunrise in the morning, that's going to turn off your melatonin when you get that red light through your eyes. That turns off your melatonin production because your body does make its own melatonin. And then that's going to actually tell your body in 12 to 14 hours to start making melatonin. Combine that with the sunset signaling, and man, you're gonna sleep like a baby. So that's where tan comes from. Because I used to really cope with alcohol and weed. Like I would always have to smoke before bed to sleep or drink a little bit of alcohol. And then beef. Beef is just nutrient dense food. I mean, it mainly should consist of beef because red meat is the most nutrient dense food there is. Those nutrient dense foods are going to tell your brain, hey, I have enough food, so I don't have to eat more. That's why when you eat a lot of like chicken, rice, and broccoli, this bodybuilder's diet, you always feel hungry and you end up crashing out, or you can only do it for like 3 months. It's because your body isn't satisfied. It's not getting all those micronutrients. So it's saying like, hey, give me more micronutrients. I need more food. And then you just keep eating more chicken, rice, and broccoli, not giving it the nutrients. And then eventually you crash out and eat a bag of chips or Skittles. That's why you can eat a whole bag of potato chips in one sitting and still feel hungry. But back to living intentionally. So basically, by me not living intentionally, I lost sight of my vision. I lost sight of the Gym Tan Beef blueprint. And I just made a video on this about how I crashed out and how I'm getting back on, because I literally lost track of the vision. It's not like I was not going to the gym or like I was eating a bunch of processed food. The issue is I've been traveling a lot this summer, so I went to Germany and then I went to Spain. And in Germany, there's like my wife's family started giving us a bunch of sausage and cheeses, and I started eating that. And in her family's Russian and German, so two cultures that love to drink. So they were always drinking, and I felt like the odd one out if I wasn't drinking. So I started drinking way more alcohol than I usually do there. Like, I'll have a couple drinks, maybe once a month. There'll be one day where I'll have a couple drinks just to have fun. Like, a lot of health coaches will tell you alcohol lowers your vibe, but sometimes it raises it if you do it in the right circumstances and if you do it in moderation. Like, I think seed oils are way worse than alcohol. Like, if you're only having alcohol like maybe like twice a month. But I was just drinking probably every week. Like, every weekend we had some party or something to go to where you were drinking. And drinking is just way bigger in Europe. And then it really came to a head when I went to Spain, because we went to a wedding, and the first few days we were there, I was dialed in. I was doing gym tan beef, going to the gym every day, getting a tan, going to the beach, and then eating nutrient-dense food. And then we went to the rehearsal dinner, and they served wine there, and I had a glass of wine. One glass leads to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I ended the night with 8 drinks, and I wasn't drunk. But then the next day I was feeling slow, hungover. I still got my gym in and my tan and my beef. Like, it's not like I was eating processed food and like I wasn't going out and walking and not getting exercise and not getting sunlight. It was just like I wasn't living up to my full potential. My high school self would be so disappointed if he knew that I was drinking in Spain, just like instead of, or not drinking, just like not working out in Spain, in a new country, finding a new gym, instead of just, I was like, oh, I'm just going to drink, because the next day after the rehearsal dinner was the wedding, and at the wedding, of course, they have alcohol there, so I did have too much to drink at the wedding. And then the next day I woke up hungover, and again, I didn't eat any processed food at the wedding. They served really good food. The next day, me and my wife, we still went out and walked around. We walked the whole day, actually. So got my gym in that way, my tan in that way. Still ate good food, got my beef in. But then when I at lunch the day after the wedding, I was like, well, I'm already hungover, so I might as well have some more alcohol. And then again, 1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers. I think I had 4 beers that day. But still, I was already hungover, and then I went to bed that day and woke up the next day. We went to another small beach town, and I woke up the next day and I was still a little hungover. So I had the same mentality of, well, I'm already a little hungover, so might as well drink today too. So the next day I drank, and then I think half of the days I was there, I was drinking alcohol. And that's just not like me, and it's not a part of my gym tan beef vision. Like, I want to be jacked and shredded, and you can see after all that alcohol, I'm still holding on to some body fat here. Like, it's nothing like this gym tan beef shred where I'm absolutely diced up, and that's because I lost track of that vision. I wasn't journaling at that time, so I didn't have that like long-term vision. I was just like living in the moment. I had no mission. I had no structure. And if you watch the last YouTube video I did, it's all about how I put those systems back into place. I made a new meal plan, I made a new workout plan, and that structure is what allowed me to get jacked and shredded the first time. So that's what I need to repeat again. I need that structure. I just can't be in Germany eating random sausage and cheese because it's whole food, or I just can't be in Spain eating steak and potatoes because it's whole food, and then let myself slip drinking alcohol, and then let myself slip just walking instead of going to the gym because I'm hungover. And that's why I bring up journaling, is because this is what has really helped me dial in the past few weeks. Now, I haven't been doing it long, and I will say, in the past I thought journaling was totally gay. Like, I thought you were a total faggot if you would journal. Like, I looked at it as a girl thing, like, dear diary, today I felt this, today I felt that. But no, it's actually really helpful because it helps you live intentionally. Like, you get your thoughts down on paper instead of just like going with the flow and doing whatever. So every morning I've been journaling, every night I've been journaling, and it's really helped me just dial in, see that Gym Tan Beef vision, get that ideal person into my head, so every day I'm working towards those goals. And I've already gotten in way better shape just doing this, restructuring my workout plan and my diet, actually tracking my macros every day, actually tracking my workouts every day, living with a purpose to get better instead of just being like, la. Sorry, my mic went out, so if there's a weird cut there, that's why. But I wasn't living intentionally in Germany, so I was just eating sausage, I was eating cheese, and I was like, oh, they're whole foods. I'll just have some sausage, cheese, some beef. After that, I'll have some chicken. I'll have a bunch of fruit. And I wasn't tracking my calories. And the thing about me is I'm a natural glutton, so I can eat as much whole foods as possible. Like, people in the animal-based and carnivore community will tell you, you just have to track your chemicals, not your calories, and you'll lose weight. Well, the thing is like, yeah, you won't be a total fat ass. Like, look, still got some abs here, but there's still a bunch of body fat. I look better than the normal, like, average man, but I want to look like I did on the original Gym Tan Beef blueprint during my shred. I just have to dial back in, and journaling keeps me on point. It starts your day with an intention, and it ends your day with an intention. So you know that at the start of each day, these are my goals, these are my thoughts I'm having right now, this is how I'm going to work through it, but ultimately these are the goals I'm going to work to today to make my grand vision come true. And then at night, it actually helps you. It helps you when you sleep, because I read something that said, like, when you sleep, your body actually, or your mind actually goes through like what you did that day and prepares for the next day. That's why sometimes you'll have dreams that like literally tell the future for the next day, is because you can create that through what you think about before you go to bed. So if you journal and you set your mission the night before, your mind is already getting into that mentality of, I have to be ready for the next day, and like, this is what I'm going to accomplish the next day. So it gets your mind on the right track before you even start your day. I just want to finish out this video saying that my original goal, why I started doing Gym Tan Beef, why I started posting on Instagram and YouTube, was so I can provide for my family on my own terms. So I don't have to work for clients that I hate. So I don't have to work for a finance job asking my boss to go to the bathroom. I can live on my own terms, providing for my family, and I can be there for them. And I can provide for them in a way that doesn't stress me out or make me hate my life. Because I think a lot of dads these days, they provide for their families, but they hate their job. So in a way that makes them resent their family. And I just don't want to do that. I want to be a great dad. I want to be a great husband. I don't want to resent my wife or my kids because I hate my job and I have to go to my job to provide for them. Ultimately, my goal now that I figured out through journaling is, just grow Gym Tan Beef, help as many people as possible while providing for my family and being a great husband and father. I do this through offering one-on-one coaching. So if you need some one-on-one coaching and you want to make a fitness transformation like my boy here or like my boy here, you can schedule a one-on-one coaching qualification call with me in the description below. If you don't have time for that, YouTube thinks that you'll like this video the most next. Go watch this video outside on a walk or eat a steak while watching this video. I will catch you guys later. Gym Tan Beef out.